Another beautiful day to be alive. Thank you for joining us on the Thursday edition of Spring Trends right here on Morning Spring, right here on Western Spring Television. We appreciate your time every day. My name is Evelyn Ohiolei, and what we do right here on the show is that we look at trending issues, especially on social media. What is trending, why they are trending, where they are trending, who are those trending, and reactions on social media. And Femi is always right here to lend his voice on the different stories we bring on board. Welcome, Mr. Ojo.
Is
that not your name? Why are you giggling?
It's sounding odd that you're calling me Mr. Ojo. It's like you're calling my father. Thank you. It's my pleasure to be here again.
All right, so let's just get right to business at this time. As you can see on my screen, what I have is the #1 man in labor. You can call him the #1 worker in Nigeria, Mr. Joe, Comrade Joe Ajaero, right there. And we know that at this time is in this fight, a struggle with the federal government on the proposition for the new minimum wage from 615,000 naira. You know, the federal government proposing 48,000 naira to 54,000 naira to 57,000 naira. And now we hear that the organized labor has actually shifted ground, and now they are asking or demanding for 500,000 naira. Another report has it as 497,000 naira. But whatever it is within that range. And people are wondering, 500,000 naira, okay, they have been able to cut off 115,000 naira from their asking price. Let's see if the federal government will be able to give them that. But before we hear what the federal government has to say concerning this, let's see what Nigerians have to say. Adewale Damilare says, this is still very unreasonable. 200,000 naira is cool, he says. And Olu says, they are not being realistic. Come to a realistic figure and stop wasting time. Things are hard. 80 to 100,000 naira is realistic. Stop wasting time. Since last year, what is it safe? And moving on next to Ezedu Obumuneme. I hope I got that right. And he or she says, government should negotiate with NLC and peg the minimum wage to state government workers 120,000 and FG workers 200,000 naira. They should separate the minimum wage between states and federal government, because even the present minimum wage some states are not paying. We should be serious in this country for once. And I'm going to move over to Femi right here in the studios. I am particularly struck with what Ezedu Obumuneme is saying, that let us have a distinction. Let us have a separation. The federal government should be paying a particular amount as minimum wage, then the state should be paying something lower, because we know that the state might not have the capacity to pay as the federal government. He is proposing that the state government workers should earn or should get 120,000 naira as minimum wage, and the federal government workers should be given 200,000 naira as minimum wage. Your thoughts?
I think that's not a bad place to start. That's a good postulation. But then, at least in this kind of negotiation, the stakeholders should come out with their books, especially the states as well, to say, this is how much we generate, this is the wage bill, can we afford these? Can their revenue carry it? Is another thing, even if they are being sincere as well, especially states that are having difficulty in paying. You're saying they should pay 120 or even pay 50. You know, these are the issues. But this boils down to sincerity. Sincerity of purpose. If a governor will come out to say, guys, Labor, Accountant General, SGF, everybody, come, this is how much we make. This is how much we expend on you people. Capital project, recurrent project, expenditures here and there. As of assembly, we ourselves, how do we make this work? I think, you know, the trust thing is one, because everybody, including the labor guys, believe there is money if you guys want to spend it. The thing is, who, on what, you know, venture are you spending this money on?
What are your priorities?
Thank you. What are our priorities? You know, can you cut down some of the things you guys are enjoying and push it down? to the rest of us? Is it possible that way? All these greetings of people every time you are coming to the villa, and when you are going, we are going with maybe a hamper, and you know how it will be. And, you know, can we just minimize it? Are there meetings you could have virtually that doesn't require people to come and then you have to expend things? Are there subsidies that are not really, you know, all encompassed, that doesn't benefit everybody? That you might have to say, guys, you can't afford this, let's push it back to this place. These are the issues as well. And then the ripple effect of this is another thing. Well, schools, schools, you know, won't they hike their fee, especially private school? And you know, some of the parents who are sending their children to private school, they are not on the payroll of the government. Who pays for that as well? This will cause inflation, but then how high is what we don't know, really. But then it's a lot of conversation. Let the government get their act right. Okay, 615 guys come and collect 48,000. Ah, no be me and you. Okay, when I come out there, oh yeah, come and collect 54. They say no be me and you. Okay, we too. No be 15 again. We agree 500, I mean it's 497, and then somebody, the government said, no, you're too much. Oh yeah, no, we add something, 57. It's looking like you are in a general market and people are doing hello, you know, and it's becoming funny. Both sides must show seriousness and come out with something, excuse me, tangible, and quickly on that, it shows, do they really care? If this is looking more like, oh yeah, I'm going to go talk. Labor, meet us for a table. And then those ones go first, go come out, they go say, I leave them. They will come back again. But it's not looking like we are serious as a people.
Don't you think this actually also points to the fact that the NLC led the leadership of Joe Ajaero as the NLC president really isn't on top of the situation. He's not at top of the situation at all. And the government, even the state and the federal government, they're calling his bluff because they know that he's not that tough guy.
It's not only Joe. There is a Festus Osifo as well. So it's a joint negotiation thing. That's why they call them organized labor.
But you know, most of the time, the people actually see more of the NLC
because it was always NLC before the TUC came out, and people, most persons believe the TUC, the product of rebellion, by the way, in a kind of way. But then the two of them are there, but it shows. Even apart from negotiation, you could see, even within his own ranks, do they respect him enough to always say, presidential talk, oh yeah, may everybody fall in line. Sometimes you see some activities are going on in Lagos. It appears like Yobe is not even part of it. It will be business as usual. That's why many persons are saying, put your acts together. Go on a united front and show some seriousness and remove your hands from things that are political or politically inclined. You can see what happened to him during Imo State, because some power that be had to deal with him. He was dealt with because they believe if you are coming here to vie for election, get on the bandwagon of a political party and show yourself as a politician. Don't come here to say you are on the front of labor and you are hampering what is happening there. I think you should put his hands together, but the government needs to show seriousness and commitment.
All right, to the next story this morning. What we hear, as you can see that picture on my screen, Kanayo there. And when that picture comes to sight, the only one thing that comes to your mind is a sacrifice. So let's see what's happening with Kanayo. Okay, we hear that the federal government wants to place a ban on movies that actually show money rituals or, you know, smoking in movies. Probably this is actually a social solution to some of the issues, the social issues that we have. And the government feels if we have a ban on movies that excessively shows money rituals, shows people smoking, and also what does this actually, tell, or the message it passes to the young ones out there. And we hear Kanayo, and also Mike Okri saying, you are joking. That's what they are saying to the federal government at this time. Reactions, Ola Mi Lekon says, it's definitely a big joke and misplaced priority plus unnecessary distractions. And Bay Hunter says, this is a positive development from a public health social perspective. This ban aims to reduce the potential glamorization of harmful behaviors superstitious practices, thereby promoting healthier lifestyles and more responsible content. However, it raises concerns for freedom of expertise or experience, I think. Expression. All right, thank you. And Inspired says it will do no such thing. The same movies are always showing the consequences of such acts. People who want to do evil will do it, and not because Nollywood movies taught them so. The government should focus on proper basic and tertiary education, creation of job, and all of that. And LD Sadiq says, yikes, filmmaking is an art form that can't and should not be censored. People are going to tell their stories either way, and if enforced, producers would make their movies in Benin Republic and Nigerians would lose economic benefits and artistic presence. What is your thought, Femi? And I think I want to tilt towards what LD Sadiq is saying, that art is an expression. You cannot tell an artist what to draw, how to draw it. It is how he feels he expresses his art. And by the way, recently we have seen that gradually the Nollywood as an industry, the filmmakers, the scriptwriters are actually moving away from this money ritual kind of movie. We are seeing more contemporary scripts, more, modern stories. So I don't think the federal government should be involved in this for this to happen. People will actually move, whether we like it or not.
That particular policy of the government is not just about movie making. They talked about musical videos, skit makers as well, that doing all these seeming vices. I think the issue of the federal government is glamorizing it. People glamorizing it, movie makers, musical videos as well. But then, this is Africa. Yeah. We hold virtue in great esteem. And I think I will try and play, some kind of advocate here. Many persons have called out macaroni, for example, in the past, to say your popular series, the Daddywa series, or Freaky Freaky series, is always glamorizing or sensualizing women with, who are endowed, so to say, and then you want to have one thing or two with them. And then he gave his example to say there is a reason for that, because everybody, he dared people to say, every of those escapades doesn't end well with him. He has always been failing. So it's not like he's telling people that this is what you should do. He's only telling them that for people who do that, it will always end badly. And, in fairness to him as well, it always ends badly. But there are some things that happen before it ends badly, making it to look like whenever you see a woman, you must always want to have a go at that woman, needlessly as a way. But then, for you to tell a story, there must be some semblance of reality in it as well. But then that's where context comes in. How does it end is one thing. When you put up a movie and it's seeming, and it looks like you're telling a story of violence, of sexual trafficking, or whatever, all the vices, and it ended like that is the way of life, then that story has been told in a very bad way. The thing is, in the US now, you will always see violent movies, whatever movies that they do, sometimes drugs, but then you see the way it ends in a kind of a way. Sometimes it doesn't end the way you expect.
Exactly.
There are what is it called? Surprise. There's a name they call it. But then, is this the reason why we are having all these vices? Maybe. I think that is an aspect of addressing those factors. But can it be banned that they won't smoke in movies? They won't have sexual scenes. They won't have all this kind of vanity in movies. Then it will not be movies again. Okay, maybe you want to watch Moon Zion and then K-Technical
and
films.
those movies are rated. I mean, if it's rated 18,
that's one thing. I'm still coming there as well. There is a responsibility you should do.
Yeah.
You should play as a parent as well. Parental guidance, especially when watching on cable TV, they will tell you it's 13, it's 18, it's 16. There are some that they call it a family movie. Everybody can watch. Yeah. So we should play our part. The thing in Africa, some of those things we don't really care. Even when you are watching on your cable TV, you will see is it 13 or 18 or 16 there. But then glamorize, especially, I have issues with musical videos. Yeah. So musical videos are total nonsense. I was watching one yesterday of, two artists in Nigeria, and then a movie critic was trying to critique and say, this is the line of the lyrics of the movie, of the song, And then the video doesn't have anything to do with the lyrics. It was all about You're Stubborn. I think that song is Victoria featuring Ashake, and the title is Stubborn, by the way. And it was about a child who is stubborn going all the way to become bigger, and then everything. And then people have been having issues with sometimes the artistic expression of people maybe going too far. There is the religious part that some will come into a place, seeming place of worship to desecrate, so to speak, and some religious adherents have issues with that. But I think what should have been done is to have a stakeholders meeting of critical stakeholders, script writers, movie producers, artists themselves, censors board, guild of editors, or what they call them, guild of actors. Let them have a roundtable and agree on something. And I think issues with the government, not just on this particular party, sometimes policymakers just come out with something. And then there will be backlash, there will be reaction. Sometimes they step it down, and then you see some editing. I think we should be having an awesome conversation. There is an ecosystem about movie making is a very big thing now. People are doing very big. People are going out. Nollywood is even finding some expression in Hollywood. I've seen some Nigerian guys doing great as well. You don't want to kill this expression, but then we should draw some line, have an awesome meeting with them. What do we need to do? You already see big wigs like Kanayo saying, you guys are joking. He's known as the what's it called? Sacrifice master, by the way. And he's a toga that he tried to put off, but he's wearing it now with all confidence to say this is where we are. I think an awesome conversation should be had around this so that we have a workable line. Stop glamorizing vanity. But then, should we express as an artist? We should do that as well.
Yes, we should
We can't kill it. From Bollywood to Nollywood to Hollywood to all the kind of wood, the Asaba wood that, you know.
So what you're saying actually is that if there should be a decision made, it should be from the association that actually, the umbrella body of movie makers or skit makers,
everybody
and not
involved.
The federal government putting a ban.
Don't just put a black and ban. Talk with them. They are the one doing this work. It's as easy as that. So that you know what they are feeling, and they too can tell you why they are doing that. And then when they come with a united front, everybody will be fine.
All right, so thank you so much, Femi. And let me put this out. Did you know that Kanayo, that's not his real name? A lot of people actually know him as that from way back, but that is not his real name. His real name is Anayo Modestus Onyekwe, aka Kanayo. But he has worn that name over the years, and that is like his real name right now. I know, I saw that some weeks or some months back, and I'm like, really? I didn't know. So is it
K Anayo or whatever?
His name is Anayo.
Okay.
It doesn't have a Kanayo. I don't know how it got about the Kanayo or Kanayo.
Wow. Things happen.
You know, but then...
Now I know. Thank you.
To our very last story, from the sacrifice master himself, we move over to the very dark man. We hear that he has been arrested and, you know, he's been remanded in custody and will be released next Wednesday. There are issues pertaining to cyber fraud and all of that, cyber crime. The details are not yet clear, but then reactions. Lucky Gold says, very dark man and cyber crime in the same sentence. It seems surprised. And X and Y says, remember great men who followed this path too. Nelson Mandela and Obasanjo also used this route. Very dark man will be the president one day also, really. And you mentioning Obasanjo and Mandela, really. I can mention 101 persons that went to prison and did not even become the chairman of the local government. So it's not by going to prison. If it's by like that, everybody will be,
go pieces,
will be on the queue.
I bet made a find out 1 year.
All right, I'm sure this is actually sarcasm by X and Y. And Fizzy, Mr. Fizzy says, I feel he deserves it. He talks too much. He has mouth diarrhea. Oof. And he says, talkative. Ajibola says, freedom of speech day in Nigeria, but freedom after speech is not assured. Femi, your thoughts?
Let me start it from that last tweet. There is freedom of speech, but no freedom. No right is absolute. Is in the law. Your right is not absolute. The fact that you can talk doesn't mean you can say anything that impugn on the integrity of others. You know, when I saw the news yesterday, he has, you know, this running battle with Iyabo Ojo and Tonto Dike. He said they came for him I saw an expression, a video which he did, and say some of the things he said it so that to get back at them as well. They called him some unprintable names. He too had to look for something that would pain them. And that's why he had to say those things. But then with the courts and milots, that I'm angry, or it's because they give me gas, me too, I must give them booze. And it's a running back. Well, many persons are thinking maybe these individuals involved are using their connection, in the country. Is it
supposed to be so? I mean, deal with someone to be remanded in custody must have done something.
Yeah, to deal with him. That's why he has his lawyers. But speaking to the moral part, very Darkman gained popularity as a moralist. Initially, he was trying to hit people that do bleaching, selling all kind of uncensored creams, deceiving people on Instagram. And then I think he had a goal at Tonto Dike as well at some point. And then the Mohbad issue came up. And then everything became messy. But just like somebody said, I think, he seems himself as an advocacy person, freedom fighter or whatever. But I think he should know, in this life, one thing you can do for yourself is to know when to stop in this life. Know when to talk and know when to keep quiet in a kind of a way. And know what to say. The fact that you are angry doesn't mean you should say everything you think. Now, they have taken you to court. Can you substantiate those things that you have said? If not, good luck to you and your lawyer. But then, if there is a seeming semblance that the ladies involved are using their connection to punish him, that's what many Nigerians will frown at and say, do you feel offended? Do you feel maligned by what Very Darkman has said? Is there a provision of the Constitution to go around that? Then you do it. Leave it for the courts as well to handle these. But then Very Darkman, he has been arrested the time before. He came out and was like, nothing did happen. We expect whenever they release him, he won't stop. He's just like maybe an older version of Portable. They don't stop. They don't stop.
All right, Very Darkman, our thoughts and prayers are with you.
Are you sure? Or you are doing cliche. Are you sure?
He's going to learn. In his own words.
Who is learning now?
He's going to learn. You're going to learn.
Don't play.
Of course, don't play. You can see him right here on the screen. But fingers crossed as to how this pans out. And this is where we'll draw the curtains on the show this morning. Thank you so much for being a part of our world. And of course, to Femi, Mr. Ojo, for coming on board. I don't know where that came out from this morning.
It is me.
Referring to you as Mr. Ojo. And you say you feel like you are your dad right now. But you are your father's son, by the way. All right, my name is Evelyn Ohiolei. Have for yourself a very cool, fabulous Thursday. See you tomorrow. Bye.